Not that I said, but what you're asking. Uh, all right, and let me find. I'll post this link in the YouTube. I mean, whatever it's called, Telegram. Yeah, it was like a specific question though. I gotta find this question. StreamYard. Ah, shit. That's annoying. Sorry, I'm working on two computers right now. Let's see. God, that's so annoying. Oh, perfect. Again, failing. I feel like I've been failing this media center so hard. I'm eventually gonna get used to it. All the technology in the world, and I cannot get this thing to paste the message. This is bananas. Oh, we're gonna have to close Telegram all the way down. There we go. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's find this the question about the bear market. All right, how do you expect it to affect Starship when we go to a bear market? I know gaming crypto is not affected the same as other utilities. Any thoughts? Yeah, so it doesn't. All right, obviously, like when the bear market hits, a lot of money moves out, and of course, money is going to move out of Starship. There's no question. Money moves out of everything. Why it doesn't affect Starship? Because Starship doesn't need any holders. We don't need people giving us money. We don't need investors. That's just sort of a perk. It's really actually an incentive for our users to continue to play. We want users. Users will give us all the money we need, assuming that the product quality is efficient and meets their needs. Then we will incentivize them to keep using it by telling them to hold and stake Starship, where they'll make more money. So why it doesn't impact as much? Because we're not beholden to investors. You know, like we with the Riv protocol, because we purchase our own token, it basically will look like, assuming again that our products are legit. I mean, which they are, obviously. But that they are going to continue to drive users to constantly play and spend money, of course, like with the NFT game, with the sex, just being able to utilize it all the time, um, to facilitate transfers or purchasing of other token. But you know, as long as people are using our products and services, we'll continue to buy our own token, and that alone, even with no advertising or marketing, is going to drive more investors in because they're just it's going to look like a rebase token, you know, like constantly just moving up. So again, that follows suit with wherever our revenues come. So Any thoughts on that, Grandpa?
I mean, that's pretty much along the lines I was thinking, where it probably wouldn't affect us as much.
No, I don't think it'll affect us really at all, unless it affects our users.
Right, and I mean that's possible, and I thought maybe it might affect the growth rate because there won't be as much exposure because there aren't as many people in the crypto market in general
Yeah,
during that.
yeah, but we're not just going to go after the crypto market. We're going after the crypto market as far as users are concerned. We're going after the crypto market first because that's where we are, right? That's our lowest barrier of entry into all of these various products or services. Dude, we will be operating just normal day to day, business to business, business to consumer business. Not to overuse the word business, but like from everything from offering marketing services to partnering with mom and pop shops that make cupcakes or sell beer or whatever. We're building an infrastructure so businesses can merge onto blockchain and or into cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency doesn't need to be a token or a coin that you spend, uh, in the regular sense that we think of fiat. It just needs to be utilized in some way, such as for businesses, reward programs or loyalty programs like credit card points, right? So helping them build those loyalty programs on the blockchain. That's the lowest barrier of entry for businesses like that. And the more we get people to utilize the system just to incentivize purchasing in their own store, or it could be online stuff. It could be creating an actual blockchain. We don't need our users to be on blockchain. We just need users. Why we're focusing on blockchain right now is because that's the lowest barrier of entry. It's where we're at. So, I mean, Uber app to a brewery to a cupcake shop, doesn't matter. And we just continue to make money and buy our own token. So I've been saying this for months. I've been saying we don't need to shill Starship, uh, because Starship is going to shill itself. I mean, selfishly, I want the token to not like peak so fast. Get like 1,000x right out of the gate. That's going to be harder for me to acquire more token. I also would like to see a lot of these big holders. I, I'd love to see them get out or stay in forever, one or the other. If they're planning on getting out before $10, then I want them out now. So that's what I really like about like today, right? Shooting up to 70 cents. I was actually really taken aback by the fact that I didn't see as many people sell. I don't know why I was. I mean, because I think that's just sort of, it could be a testament to the fact that people are going to be sticking around for like the long haul, which is going to be awesome. I just hope, and as a lot of people know, we've been asking people, hey, if you own a substantial amount of token and you want to get rid of them, reach out to us. We'll make a deal with you. Like we could lessen the tax burden, right? We'll do whatever we can. Like we'll buy your token from you. We'll do whatever we can to sustain a healthy chart. So let's get some more questions or more engagement. Where'd Katie go? Oh, Katie's right there. Happy birthday, Katie. I didn't say happy birthday to you yesterday. I'm sorry. I was too involved with my own child. How was it? Yeah.
Katie raked in the NFTs yesterday.
Yeah? You got some mythics or what? No? No?
Only because Matt gave it to me.
Of course. He gave you a mythic? He never talks to me about this stuff. He'll go out and spend like $20,000 on mythic and not talk to me about it. Matt's at Disneyland right now. I'm just imagining him at Disneyland with like jean cutout shorts or something. I don't know.
That's in California.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, he's like this weekend he was staying in Anaheim, which is like 2 hours north of here.
That's fun.
Yep. I've heard it's not as good as Disney World.
For my birthday.
You should. I mean, you should be moving here pretty soon, Katie.
Well, you're not gonna get us to move to California. Sorry.
I know. You might have to figure that one out, though. I know. I knew that before I said it. But I think if you spend time in San Diego, you could always live in Mexico. It's not too far. You could get a beach house for like nothing. But you have to deal with.
Move to Chula Vista and pretend you're in Tijuana.
It's like the same thing. It's not too different. No, dude, Chula Vista is blown up right now. I told you that before. I'm sure you know it. But Chula Vista, dude, there's some super nice places out there. But there are parts of it that do literally feel like Mexico.
Is this getting recorded? Can anyone hear me on the YouTube?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, because we just surpassed 10,000 packs sold in the pack sale, or the extended. Well, we've sold more than 10,000 already, but we just surpassed 10,000 extended packs.
Ooh, and we got a nice gift there. That's nice.
Yeah. Is it true that Matt said that we're gonna get a top 10 exchange listing if we sell out of these packs?
I mean, look, everything comes down to money. So we've been making money lately. Obviously, we've been buying our own token. But
it's in the pinned messages.
Well, I don't read that stuff. I can't keep track of that. No, I mean, okay, so to answer your question, is it true? If Matt says it's true, it's true. You know, like he's gonna make it happen. It doesn't happen every time, but we're in a way better place than we were, like 4 months ago. So, we're doing super well right now. I don't care so much. I mean, this is a personal opinion of mine. I don't care so much to get into exchanges like right away. I know that our holders want to see it, and so of course I'll support that decision. We essentially work for you guys, so, and that's always a popular opinion. But I really don't want to grow too fast. I really like the speed at which we're growing, and it is really exciting to see us continually push up like week after week. But what I think we're gonna see is, what do we have, Kate, last night? Like 200 people join last night. We got like 200 new investors or something. We got like 200 new investors in the last like 24 hours. So
in just the last like 5 days, we've gotten at least 500 new ones, new wallets.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that doesn't always translate into investors. Kitty's correct; it's new wallets, but so what we're gonna end up seeing is it's gonna go from 200 a day to 500 a day to 1,000 a day to 5,000 a day to 10,000 a day. It gets that. We'll see the exponential growth in the amount of wallets that are purchasing, and it's gonna change everything, right?
You guys gonna get me new writers or more writers?
If you move to California, I'm gonna get you whatever you want. She's never coming. She's never coming. No, yeah, of course, like content creation is a huge thing that we're focused on. And we need writers, and not just writers, like proper journalists, right? So when we're talking about doing press releases, we don't really want to do the paid press releases. We want to actually find a journalist and do a proper press release where they interview you, they write an article. That's what we want. They have their own listeners and viewers. Yeah.
I love how we just talked about an exchange in this voice chat, and the first thing someone says in Telegram is they're going to be listed on other exchanges. Thanks.
Yeah. No, because that's what everyone cares about, right? Because see, and I'm not saying J Mark is doing this, and or anyone else necessarily, but like you want to see there are people coming in right now at 65 cents thinking they want that quick return, just like a lot of people in our group got. What we need to do a better job in showing them is that 65 cents, 70 cents, $1, $2, $5 are still incredible opportunity entry points. We need to convey to them in some visual data package, I don't know, that $65 is likely going to be the entry point, the average entry point for our first 1 million users. Not even like 500,000 users. So when you figure that the average person is getting in at $65, and because again, if you think about it, we're only at 4,600, 4,700 people right now, and in like 1,200 or 1,500 of those are dust wallets. So it's not even that big. It's not even probably 500,000. It's probably out of the first 100,000 people, the average price will be, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, $65
Are you saying we're going to hit over $1 billion market cap?
by June 2022. Not financial advice. Yeah. I mean, look, it's literally just, I mean, if you understand the math and the statistics and all that kind of stuff, and you look at it, and then you do a market analysis, a comparative analysis against other people who are other companies or projects that are similar to ours, and you look at their growth, and you look at where we are, dude. June 2022, $65 or more. This game is going to take off, and it costs $10 per person to play the game, to like just be able to log in. So yeah, we hit 100,000 users, which is completely possible. Like not even possible, it's likely.
It's more than likely. Alien Worlds is 200,000 people.
Exactly.
It's 200,000 accounts.
Yeah. So and when did they launch?
Jeez. I think they started development in like 2019.
Yeah, but when did they start on? Or well, I guess okay. So because you're saying wallets, yeah. So you look at other companies that are similar, and that's just on the game side. That's not the sex. That's not the wallet. That's not. I mean, we're not really doing anything with the token creator. That's just going to be like an add-on benefit for businesses. But that's not the DEX. That's not the Visa card and banking that we're launching. That's just the game, right? Just the game alone will put us at $65. Nothing else. You add in everything else.
Alien World launched in December of 2020.
Look, that's incredible. That's actually a really similar timeline to. Oh, you said 2020, December. Yeah. So what? 10 months ago? 11 months ago?
Yep.
Okay. So if we hit half that, we're at $65. If we hit like 10% of that, and then we have all of our other programs going, we're still at $65. The game could fail and we'll still be at $65. We have too many things going with too many credible partners in our infrastructure. I know I've been kind of like not harping on our own infrastructure, but like I've been harping on the fact that we don't want to continue to scale until we have a solid infrastructure. There's only a few parts of our infrastructure that worry me, and they're being handled. So by the time the game launches and Visa and everything else, it's nothing. So, yeah, the future is bright. I'm trying to talk to my wife about this right now because she still thinks that everything I do is monopoly money. But so in her defense, I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. Like she knows the up and downs, and she doesn't like that. And then obviously like crypto's super um, volatile. But what I've been trying to explain to her is kind of what I'm explaining now, which is we're not in the normal crypto kind of space, right? We're focused on being a company, we're focused on generating revenue, we're focused on users. The token increasing in price is just a reflection of our work in the business sector. It operates more like a stock. So I've been trying to explain this to her, and she still never really got on board until like everybody. I mean, her parents, her brother, her sister-in-law, her sister-in-law's family, dude, like everybody is hitting me up right now on like her side of the family. So she's seeing all these people trying to get into Starship around her, and she's finally starting to think, oh shit, I might not be able to work or not have to. I mean, she's always going to work, but not like in pharmaceutical sales, which is what she does right now. Oh, my lights turned off. Let's turn those back on. Yeah, it's really interesting because like the people I talk to every day obviously are all about Starship. And so it's always this positive Starship around me all day. And then, I come home, I work at home, but and it's just like nothing like that. It's just poopy diapers and when's dinner. It's kind of nice, actually. But yeah,
I got a question.
Yeah.
So everything you said so far, I think is pretty interesting because so I guess it goes back to the whole Rift protocol and staking, and I think that's where once people understand that, I don't think the value or matters too much because it's basically like you get an ROI or APY every year if you just stake, right? So if someone bought like next year they bought $10 worth and they just held $10 for 10 years, and Starship was giving like, depending on all the products, was paying out like 10% a year, they would just get a return on their $100, $1,000 or whatever, regardless of the price of Starship. But this price of Starship would increase because of the buybacks.
Yeah, exactly. So, but just to clarify one thing, that debate was saying they have to stake it, right? So it's not just holding it; they have to stake it, meaning they have to deposit it into an escrow contract. So, because the whole thing is obviously taking it out of circulation. So, when so we're not offering any sort of guaranteed you're going to get 10% back or whatever, or 0.25%,
No.
whatever it is. But essentially,
But it's like a mutual fund, right? Like
Yeah.
mutual fund would never tell you how much you're getting, but they have like an average.
yeah, oh yeah, you'll have an
I'm
average.
trying to see what the average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works just like that. So imagine the easiest way for me to explain it, because crypto just confuses people. Not you, obviously, but the easiest way to explain it is imagine owning a stock, and instead of getting that dividend, right? So, like if you own Target, you would get a dividend. Instead of getting that dividend of cash, they would buy their own stock, so which is going to decrease supply, increase demand, which is increasing the price, and then they're going to distribute that stock that they purchased to me and to everyone else, right? So you're getting way more than just that traditional reflection that most tokens see, any reflectionary token sees. And the cool thing is, for a lot of people that aren't in the game, because I think what we'll see is a lot of people in the game well, they'll put in their $10 and they won't stake it because they're just in it to play the game, and that'll essentially be out of circulation. We're going to be seeing a lot of we're basically going to be. Oh, someone asked about burning token. We're basically going to be burning token because because Starship is being utilized in the game. We're going to get a shit ton of dust wallets, right? And this is wallets that hold like FUD token, because they had to hold, they had to hold the token. We don't know what our user retention is going to be, but let's say our user retention is like 8 months, which is not bad. But after 8 months, they're going to be like, all right, like I wasn't in this to like trade Starship or whatever. I'm done playing the game. And now my wallet is like dead and it's holding like 20 Starship in it. Well, you put that across like 100,000 people, and that's 2 million token that's burned. I don't know if that math was right, but you get the point. There's going to be a lot of forgotten token out there. So it's going to be interesting to see, because I think
that part.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt about that the other day. That's how we're essentially burning tokens. So what? Okay, that was a long-winded way of saying with the people who stake, it's not going to be crazy competitive, right? So if you only own, let's say, 0.25% of the supply right now, you could very well own 1% of the profits, because it's proportional. So debate, you and I were talking about this a little bit this morning, I think. It's proportional to who's in the staking pool, because all the profits are going in, all the net profits are going into the staking pool. So if there's only 4 people in there, then all the profits are split between 4 people. If there's 1,000 people in there, then it's split between 1,000 people, proportional to what they staked.
How are you going to divvy that up? Because I know another project I made takes the reflections from the marketing wallet weekly, and it's distributed proportionately. Like, because you guys have already started buybacks, when you start staking, there's going to be a pretty large amount there. How are you going to spread that out?
No, we're about to. A lot of that token is already going to be gone by the time staking starts. Staking is going to be closely lined up to when we've paid the team back, right? So there are team members, like between me, Matt, and Azel, we probably sold close to 1 million, if not more. We're running reports right now just to keep the token alive, right? So I sold 100,000 Starship to keep the servers on for 2 months when we were at like a penny. So those types of things. So we're going to be releasing a contributor report, or where if you are part of the Starship team, meaning that you have a deploy Starship email, and you're going to have an opportunity to submit a contribution report. We're going to pay back these people that have been working for us this whole time for free. And they're going to be our first priority because they're a foundation. They were everything for us. This is how we got to where we are. And so we're going to run that. We're going to have them submit the contribution report. Me, Matt, Azel, and a few others are going to be having a discussion on each person, because there's 26 people that have deploy Starship emails. And they're going to be filling out, what they did, how long they did it. If they sold any token, if they invested any money, they need to submit receipts and all that kind of stuff to be reimbursed. And it'll be reimbursed at the token amount, not the dollar amount, right? So, yeah. So, and then once that's finished, which I estimate at our current rate right now should be probably around like end of December. I think by the end of it depends on how fast we grow. Because if we grow too fast, then we get less token, right? But what I imagine is going to happen is that we're going to get a pretty sizable sell-off, probably around $1. I don't. We'll find out. I don't know tonight. I don't know. But I think when we get close to $1, we'll probably get a pretty sizable size off or sell off. It could be $2, but we're going to be prepared for it, and we're going to buy that shit right back. And that's going to make it easier for us to pay back our contributors, and it'll get to staking faster. But if all of a sudden we shoot up to like $10, it might take us a while, or we might have to release the staking before we're done paying back. I don't know. I just know that we really want to make sure that we take care of the people that got us here.
So do you know when the staking? Well, I guess like in terms of like the roadmap. So we've got the game, and now there's like the sexy, and then bridging, staking. I guess ATM. Like, do you know what what's going to be coming like first, or do you think they just all are going to come out roughly the same time?
So they're pretty much all coming at the same time, and not because we want them to. It's the reason. Okay, so the sex has been on our roadmap like since the very beginning. Like, we've always known that we wanted to be there, but we didn't want to be built. We already felt like and feel like we were doing too much. We were building too much, and I know for sure the community felt that way too. Back in June. And it's just sort of like when you're in a mad explosion of development and growth, that's what it feels like. It's just a fucking tornado. But you get it cleaned up and you work through it, and, look at where we got. And a lot of that has to do with our team. So the reason why the sex is coming at the same time as the ATMs and the bridging is because this is all a requirement for banking, right? The whole Visa deal requires us to be registered in like 4 countries, and we have to have a centralized exchange. The centralized exchange is how we're converting the crypto to fiat and then transferring it onto the card. It runs through this centralized exchange. So, and there's like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 financial sectors in the world that all operate under completely different but similar financial restrictions and regulations. And so there's some areas where we're working with different vendors, right? So like Europe has a completely different card issuer than the US. The reason why we have to do the bridge is, well, we want to be everywhere anyway, but because we have to, for us to sell in the United States and to launch or to be a part of, like, to have the Visa program in the United States, to have the ATMs in the US, it requires us to be on ETH, right? Our whole game is on Wax, so obviously we want to be on Wax. We definitely want to be bridging into FTM and Matic, which is Polygon. So we want to be everywhere, of course, but we're definitely focused on the places we have to be, like ETH for the US. I don't know. Debate, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I felt, because I felt like there are certain things that need to be done before other things, but because you did let's say the Visa, I know we did those first, so therefore, in order for that to even get going, you needed the sex and the bridge to be done. So I thought everything would just end up coming out the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much just all situational or circumstantial, which is why they're coming at the same time. It's also super exciting, but I don't know. I still constantly fear that it's just a lot of information, and we're not running our Telegram through multiple channels. So, there are going to be people who come into the Telegram that want to talk about the sex, or they want to talk about the decks or something other than the game. And then there's going to be a shit ton of people that want to talk about the game. So I worry about messaging a lot. But that's all stuff that we can get cleaned up. And at the end of the day, all these things that we're launching, there's nothing like crazy cool about them individually. It's what they all do together, and it's how they all work together. And at the end of the day, it's not about development on my side. It's just about money. You know, like these are pre-built. The sex is pre-built. We're just going to modify it to fit our needs. Same thing with like the visa deal and everything else. And we don't care to be crazy creative on our products. We want to take pre-existing products, pre-existing technologies, open source. We want to take everyday uh, user interactions, and we want to monetize them and take that money and buy our own token, distribute it to our stakeholders. So these are all pre-built solutions.
Yeah, and I think it'd be cool because like he did it with Visa, and like, people got the Visa and they get perks along with that. So like
Yeah.
if you combine that with staking, I'm like thinking, okay, so if you get the Visa and you stake a certain amount, then you get like perks. You get like if Starship gets a deal with I don't know, Netflix or
Well, yeah.
Aeroplan or Air Miles, then you
Yeah.
can somehow connect with those, like have the Visa and you stake it, you get these extra perks, and then also increase the value of Starship if you had to stake a certain amount for certain perks.
Yeah, so we're going to focus when you're talking about perks with the Visa card, we're going to be focusing on subscriptions, right? So we're going to incentivize people to subscribe, like not to subscribe to us, to use the Visa card for their utility bills, use it for any automated or subscribed service. Why? Because we know that's going to come out every single month, and they have to load up their card every month. It's just like I said, man. It's all users. It's we're going to incentivize people to use our products because the more they do, the more money we make, whether it's direct or
Yeah,
indirect.
so it's based off like volume. So
Always.
the more
Oh yeah.
you're using it, the increased volume, the more you get
Yeah.
fees. So yeah, I guess that's better than even just doing staking. As long as you get volume, that's where the money kind of comes with.
Hmm. That's why the original question from Grandpa about like how are we gonna, what's our plan of attack in a bear market? It has nothing to do with the bear market. It's what's our plan of attack if our volume is low? And I don't mean transactional, like buying and selling Starship token. I mean user volume low, right? And we monitor this stuff meticulously. I know I look at reports at least once every 48 hours, seeing what our retention rate is with the apps, seeing how many crashes we're having. So I know, like I was just reading iOS, one crash out of the last 2,000 sessions. That is fucking incredible. It's unreal. It's not like a ton of data, but dude, once you get into the thousands of sessions, it doesn't totally change that much when you once you get into the hundreds of thousands or millions of sessions, especially on iOS because there's not as many devices. Android is a bit different because there's like at first the first version of the app of the wallet was like 9,000 users, and I had to dial it back down to like six, not users, devices. I had to dial it back down to like 6,500 devices that we support, just because I saw too many issues coming from like older phones.
Are we still gonna be using Rocket Roll?
I'm not totally tied to anyone, which is pretty much why I mean, I am. I'm tied to TCG for sure, and I'm so stoked about that. And we have other partners too, but it with Rocket Vault, I don't know, man. I haven't been given the documentation yet, and from what I can tell, they haven't given it to me because they don't have it, which means they're still testing it, which means they don't know their own product yet. And that's dude, that's totally part of development. And if they land it and it's a stellar product and it works well, then of course we'll use it. But until I read that documentation, until I study, and test it, I like just can't say anything. But at this point, I feel like I could have just built it on my own.
Yeah.
So, but with the dev team, like we onboarded a couple of developers. You know, they're obviously going to be helping me a ton, and so hopefully I can start focusing less on all the manual labor and more on the overall like tech strategy. And really, dude, what I really want to do, I just want to get out there and talk to people. I want to be filming a lot. I want to be going to conventions. I want to be speaking. I want to be showing all of our products. I don't want to be coding in a garage. It's a nightmare. Especially when there's like some sort of issue. But whatever we got to do, man.
The future looks bright.
Future looks awesome. It looks really, it does. It looks really good.
Like, I was like thinking actually like what Grant said, like if it's a bear market, what's gonna happen to Starship? And I guess it doesn't really matter at all because Starship's values it's the products. As long as the products, like you said, have volume, then it doesn't matter what happens in the market because it's not like it's really business like a stock, but we're just using crypto and everything to put it on blockchain as opposed to like the stock market.
This is where we have felt that blockchain companies and cryptocurrencies just sort of missed the mark in the last like 8 years, which is where, and we didn't see like a crazy explosion in blockchain companies until like 2017, but you know, where I feel like they missed the mark is they were they seem to be so focused on finding a solution that doesn't really need to exist right now. I'm not saying it doesn't need to exist. It just doesn't really have a place in our world right now. And there's just not the market need there. And so a lot of our strategy has been based on, you know, let's not try to fix something that's either not broken or doesn't have the market. Like that's not the easiest barrier of entry. It gets people excited, you know, but that's definitely not the easiest way to go about it. And so we just figured, you know, let's just focus on business that's operating right now, pre-existing technologies, everyday programs, softwares, websites, products, services, everyday goods. Let's just replicate that and incentivize our users to utilize those products and services. Seems more logical to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh no, my computer's gonna die. YouTube's gonna turn off. For all 2 people watching me. All right. Yeah. Okay. What's next? What's the next question? Come on, Katie. Give me something.
I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, I am too.
When does the game come out?
That sounds like a Katie question.
Like at least 100 times.
Yeah. So
100 times this weekend.
Well, do you think that's bad?
The answer is just
Wait till we're at getting like 500 plus people a day. We're not going to be able to keep up with Telegram. We're for sure going to.
more moderators.
No, we need to figure that out though.
And someone needs to make a bot because whenever someone says when and game in the same message, it just says late November.
Yeah, we can totally do that.
Not that we haven't done it yet.
And we need moderators.
So we figure out like what caused the recent pump.
Wait, what?
Like in the last, I don't know, 24 or 48 hours?
No. Well, I mean, some of that was buybacks, but that big one later today, that was not a buyback. So what caused it? It's just like you look at our growth, literally from the day we said that our wallet would be in iOS and Android, before SafeMoon or whatever we said. Uh, from that day when we were at like a cent, and then I don't know what it was, like 3 days, we 10x, right? And since then, we've been steadily growing like 10, 30 investors a week. Then we kind of went into a little bit of a lull, and then it went like 30, 50 a week. Then it went to 100 a week, then 200 a week, then 200 a day, right? So it's just when people get in and they get a return, they talk to other people. And this is what's happening in my personal life now. Like, dude, people are telling me how the token is moving before I even get a chance to look at the graph. Like, I'm getting texts all the time from personal friends, from family of family, just because word travels, right? So obviously my family was in it like super early, so they're telling everyone. But it's just sort of how it works, and that's why I said, if anybody remembers, I was talking about a month ago. I was like, I really want October to be this subtle buzz, like who's Starship and how are they growing so big and so fast, and completely unnoticed, right? We're not doing any crazy marketing. We're not. Like, we're doing some, sure, but we're not doing anything crazy. And it's just, honestly, dude, I think it's just our culture. I obviously, like, Matt and I have been spending a lot of time creating content. Oh, what's up, bud? Yeah. We've been spending time on creating. What's up?
So how you guys doing?
Dude, how are you doing, man? How is Mickey?
Awesome. My phone died like 2 o'clock today, so couldn't check it.
Yeah, but that must.
But looking good.
Dude, looking stellar.
Yeah, everybody's hopping in there. Those buybacks are starting to show, but people are going to see the potential.
Yeah, but that like $40,000 buy, that wasn't a buyback. That's
Oh yeah, that was just somebody taping back in.
Yeah, right, because they sold.
Oh, I wonder who it could be.
No, it's not him. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't think it's him, because I know his wallet.
Yeah, he did be buying back in though. That guy too.
I would think so.
He messaged me today and he's like, I want to get back in. Can you give me 95,000 tokens at 30 cents?
No, he did not say that, dude.
I swear to God, I'll screenshot it and send it. I was like, why would I do that? This was when he was at like 50 cents this morning when he said that.
Oh
and
my god.
I'm like, dude, I said, you better buy that shit right now or you're going to regret it. And he's like, you don't see the potential in me, you don't have vision. And I was like, you don't have vision. You sold at 13 cents, you sold at 30 cents.
This is on YouTube.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't.
Not shit.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. We're
Whatever.
yeah.
He should be going back in soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I could, I don't know.
If you would have held from 13 cents, you'd have 180,000 tokens. Now, when he buys back in, he'll have like 50,000. He like loses every time.
Yeah, not to mention his whole reasoning for selling 100,000 token was because he thought BNB was going to go down to like 250. Literally the same day he sold like right when BNB broke 400. Like it like hit.
That's what I told him, because BNB was doing the buyback for the burn. I don't know if they buy back the entire time, but you do not sell before that.
Yeah.
It's like an event.
So that same day he sells 100,000 Starship token and his BNB, and B&B was at like $395. That same day, B&B went up to like $470, and Starship obviously followed with it. It was like his immediate loss on that must have been close to $15K. Crazy.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So,
What about the guy who sold at 1 penny for
oh.
200,000 stars? Oh, you gotta love that.
He deserved that. He deserved that. I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for that guy at all. This is like.
Well, what's nice is my favorite thing is I think a lot of the Filipino community are starting to buy the $10 to $50.
They are, dude.
Buy.
100%.
That's and we have 9 Filipino influencers releasing videos. They should all be out like by tomorrow. And then we have Crypto Stash releasing his video, so we'll definitely sell out.
When's he doing his video?
That should be at any moment. I mean, it's going to be before the sale, at least.
It
But-
better be.
Something
Alright.
that we want to make sure of is we don't want to stop advertising after the sale.
Oh, yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah, we want secondary market to just be on fire. That's I know that KuCoin. I talked to Yugi or whatever her name is from KuCoin.
Yeah.
She wants to see how we perform on secondary market. So I told her that.
You just tell her the grandpa's got the secondary market on lock.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So make sure if you're doing sales that it's on secondary